Hi, it's Marianne with a Sketch It Out Thursday for the Crafty Mavens. And today I used a Felicity Jane kit to do my layout. I used two photos and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the two photos. I tend to just stick them next to each other, so I was kind of looking for a different idea. So I went on Pinterest and typed in two photo sketch, scrapbooking layout or something like that, and this sketch came up, caught my eye, and so I overlapped the photos a little bit. I also wanted to get a little messy on this layout, so I took some gesso, spread it on my white cardstock, and going to use that as a base to do some of the squish technique on my layout. I'm not sure if my gesso is just kind of old, but it dries like a darker white on my white cardstock, which kind of is noticeable after it dries. So I'm thinking I might go to Michael's and buy some clear gesso. I think that would solve that problem. I'm just going to use what I have for now. I mean, it's just going in my scrapbook. It doesn't really bother me. So I had two photos from when we went to tea in London, and I cut one down smaller than 4x6. The other one was 4x6. And like I said, I'm just going to layer them a little bit on top of each other. I really wanted to use this floral paper from Felicity Jane. It just felt like tea time to me, even though in the end, you don't really end up seeing a lot of it. I didn't want to do just my typical layout, which is like a strip of pattern paper with the photos on it. I mean, I don't know. I make pages like that all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just felt like maybe getting a little messy. So here I just sprayed some Heidi Swap Color Shine on my craft mat, and just got some package material and just dabbed it. So immediately I dabbed it in the middle because I knew I would be covering up that part with, my pattern paper and my photos. So just to see how I liked it, and also like to dab off the excess. So I went immediately for the middle because, like I said, I knew I would cover that up, and I really just wanted it around the edges lightly. So you can see it's right now around the edges. So then I thought maybe I was going to use some of my Distress Oxide inks mixed with water in the packaging. I don't think I end up doing that. I had the right colors. I kept feeling like I wanted like a mustard yellow type color on here, but instead I decided I might as well just use the gold. And it's been so long since I sprayed it. I tried to spray it, but nothing really came out. So I'm just going to use some gold around the edges. And like I said, in the middle, I know it's not going to show up. So I kind of use that as like a place to experiment to see what something's going to look like. Oh, and there, I think I did use a little bit of ink over there. What I really needed to do, is add some water to it. So I think that was amber seed or something like that. Just a little bit of that yellow. I felt like I wanted to bring that in. It just seemed like the right tone with the green and the pink paper. And I was avoiding using the pink, but in the end, I do bring some pink in. So I'm just going to go back and forth until I kind of get it the way I want it. Here I'm just kind of sprinkling it around, and then I'm going to get to work on the rest of my layout. And it's pretty dry to work on. So Felicity Jane had some die cuts, and I think this die cut pack did match the kit I was working with. And I want to say this kit is maybe January or February of this year. I don't remember. I should go look that up. So I'm using the pattern paper, and then I pulled out the die cuts. I put aside the ones that I thought I might use, and I really like the hearts and the circles, but it felt like they're a little too casual for this layout. Every time I put them, they just weren't, I guess the word is elegant. They weren't elegant enough for what I was looking for. Not that this necessarily is an elegant layout, but it's just something about the feeling of when we went for tea. Not that the place we even went was fancy or whatever, but it just, there's a certain feel I get for the way I want the photos represented. I guess is the best way to put it. So there I just measured the paper because I wanted to see where to cut it. I could not find my ruler. I usually have a clear plastic ruler I use, but because it's clear, sometimes I lose it. So that's going to be basically what I do. And now I'm just going to take the die cuts and kind of just fiddle with them and see where I like. I do end up using that one frame. I do like that up there. And I'm kind of framing where I use the mist. So I do like the looks of that. And then I'm just going to use the other edge. I think I'm just going to stick it on the side over there. And then I was feeling like I needed something to ground the layout a little bit. And I don't know if it's the back of the floral paper, but it has this black and white striped pattern. So I'm going to use some of that on the bottom and then on the top of the layout. And I think I'm going to keep going through all of these. I really wanted to use the flower die cut, but I don't think it makes it on there. And like I said, like I do like the hearts, but it was just too, wasn't the right feel for the page. So I'm just going through, and now I'm just going to see what I want to put on the page. And I do like the Felicity Jane kits, although I have canceled my sub for now. I'm going to sub right now to the Hip Kit Club. So I always have trouble saying that. I don't know why. It's like a tongue twister for me. But Felicity Jane, the kits are lovely. And especially, I think it's the May kit, is very pretty. It's got all these pretty pinks in it. And I almost bought that one just because I love pink so much. But I decided I have enough stuff. It'll be okay if I let that one go. But check it out if you're in the market for anything pink. So I also pulled out some journaling cards just to see what I could layer up. And I do like that cluster on the left-hand side of the page. You can kind of see it down there. It doesn't end up staying. I just was kind of layering up some die cuts. And here I'm just trying to make my gluing go fast, because sometimes I deconstruct my layout to glue it and I don't know how I put it back. So it never goes back the same way. So now I kind of do it from the top to the bottom, glue-wise. So I do end up liking the way this comes out, even though you can't really see the floral pattern paper when I'm done. I know it's there, and it just felt like tea time to me. So it felt like I should use it. And I am by no means an expert on the packaging technique, but it is fun to play sometimes and just make a little bit of a paint an inky mess, or what looks like a mess. So I'm going to use that card up there that says today. I'm still trying to make those flower die cut work, flower die cuts. And I do like those little black and white stems or leaves. One of them does make it on my page. And I believe this kit also came with that little gold puffy alphabet. So I'm going to use that. When I started, I really didn't envision that my title was going to go over there. Just a little small title, but that's where it ends up. And eventually I get this a little bit straighter, hopefully. I don't know, that E looks a little crooked now that I'm looking at it, but might stay like that. So my very creative title is going to be Tea Time. There we go. Tea Time, I wrote, and then I put that little black and white stem sticking up from there. And then I used some of the die cuts, and I think there was a little sticker sheet too. So that word sticker that says favorite was from the kit, and I just layered a little label underneath there. And there was also a little sheet of washi tape in the kit, and it was black and white striped, I think. So you can see it over there on the left where I am writing. I put it across that little journaling card that has a flower on it. So I got my flower on the layout. And that word lovely, that's also a sticker. And because the word tea time was kind of like this gold, it's a very gold color. So to put anything gold, you can't just put anything, you can't just mix anything gold with it. It has to be a certain tone. So I found some puffy hearts that were the same tone as the gold. And I had to give in. I decided to go for my pink Heidi Shine. And I wanted some really big droplets up there. So I got out my mist and just let a really big drop fall from the thing, fall from the little mister. And then I usually take a little edge of paper towel and stick it in the dot just to suck up all the extra. And that's it. That's my whole layout. I think the final page is coming up here. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.